TRW, Royalists and Roundheads 2, Battle of Alford. We're halfway through the 1500 hours turn. I want to talk about victory determination now, even though this is jumping the gun here. But I do want to go through the example because I think we've hit a possibility in principle. In principle, there could be an end here. So I'm going to do this example. This is the wrong time. So let's pretend that it was at the end of the turn here, and we were at the... Let's pretend that we were in the Covenanter player's rally phase. So after the Covenanter player rallies, then the first player or the Royalist player is going to roll for victory if the circumstances or if the criteria have been met. So this is how that would work. If we were at that point in the turn, which we're not, we would do it like this. So again, it's the Royalist player is rolling for victory during the Covenanter's rally phase. So what the Royalist player would do is he would add up the strength of the units there that have been eliminated. Player totals the strength points of eliminated units by using the front larger combat strength. So this is how we do it. We do 3. Okay, I'm gonna add up the points for determining victory. So it's the full strength of the units eliminated. So 3, 4, 5. Well, there's 5. Then the combat strength of units currently routed, right? So 5 would go 6, and we would go 6, and we would go here. We would go 7, right there. Then, let's see, that's all, okay, 7. And then we would go 8, 9, 10 for a lost leader, right? Balkaris was killed, and now his replacement is in command. So that's 10. So we're at 10. What is not included is these guys over here, right? This horse unit, it does have a step loss, but it's not a reduced unit yet, so it doesn't count for anything. Now, let me give just one more example. Let's take this infantry unit here, right there. If it were reduced on its reduced side, it would be worth the value of the full strength 2 minus the reduced strength of 1, so it'd be worth 1 if it's reduced on the board at the time that you're checking. Okay, and overall commanders are worth 5. That's basically the rundown. You add those up. So it was 10. Then with your total points there, which can always fluctuate because you're counting routed units, and your I guess routed units are the ones that can change because they can rally. But at the time that you're checking, you have 10 points or loss points. I'll call them losses. Well, they're called losses here. You want to call them loss points, whatever, but here. So for the Royalists to win, check the following table. Covenanter losses would be on the 10 to 12 line. Dice roll needed, 2 dice for victory. 9, 10, 11, 12 means the game ends immediately with a Royalist victory. So let's just pretend that we roll. Okay, so we wouldn't get it, but you roll 9, 10, 11, 12. Game ends, boom, it's a Royalist victory. I actually like that a lot. I know that there are negative ways of looking at that, but I like it. What I like it, well, actually I won't go into why I like it. I like it for a couple of reasons, but one nice effect that I see from it is that games do not, and again, this has been my experience from what I've seen playing, is games do not drag on, which I like a lot. There was one time that I can think of where a game dragged on several more turns than I thought, just because of the chance of the rolls. But in general, games are not going to drag on. So that's how you would do it at the end. Now, obviously, you're doing it at the end of this at the end of this turn. And before you get to this point where the Royalists are rolling for victory, these guys, for example, are going to have an opportunity to rally, which is going to change that total, and also defensive fire. So the Royalists are going to have opportunity for defensive fire, and they could eliminate another unit, which would change the total. So things can easily change between now and the end of this turn when you're doing that victory check. Okay, so we are back to the Covenanter movement phase. Basically, I'm looking for who's out of command. 1, 2, 3, 4, which means that he is out of command. If that's clear. He is out of command. They're in command. They're in command. But here we have the replacement leader who has a muster command. He is obviously not out of command anymore because he's stacked with the current leader, like that. The unit is still routed. There. So that is checking for command. Now we have movement. Now who needs to move? Now see, he's out of command, so yeah, see, they're in an enemy zone of control. They're in the zone of control of this cavalry unit and this cavalry unit, so they cannot move. But Hackett could pull back, frankly. He's going to do that, by the way. So he's turning. There is no like reaction fire or anything. This is a much higher level. Much higher level than reaction fire, immediate reaction fire. So that's free. So then it's 1. Trying to remember if there's any leaving a Zoc. A combat unit that begins movement phase in an enemy Zoc may move out of a Zoc if it has a retreat, stand, muster, or reserve command, and it is in command. Routed units may also leave an enemy Zoc. So never mind. I forgot. They cannot with an attack order. This is the significance of these orders. Very, very significant. So he needs to change his order first. Yeah. So that's that, actually. These guys have the stand order. They can 1, and they go free change 1, and then yeah, there is no reason to not get into the fight here. There is no reason. So free change, and then 1, they go 1, and they are going to go they'll go 1, and then 2. They have movement allowance of 3, but they still only moved 1 hex. They have a stand. They have that stand order. Oops. They have that stand order. So they can only move 1 hex, but doesn't mean they can't expend more than 1 movement point. These routed units, I should have done this before. Never mind. Let me actually take this back. This routed unit can actually move. 2 hexes away from the nearest enemy. So they easily have the, yeah, so they're going to go 1, 2 like that. Oh, wait. You know, I think that's, one. Here's an enemy unit and here's an enemy unit. Actually, it's 3, 3, 3, 4. So these 3 are actually closest. So I guess they go this way or this way. So if, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. No, if they go here, they're moving closer to that one. So I'm going to say here and then here. There. Then these guys move like that. Okay. I think that's all the... These guys can actually move away as well. 1, 2. Like that. All right. Now we go to the combat phase. Fire combat first. Defensive fire, then offensive fire. So these 2 on here again. Musketeer first. 3 is nothing. Infantry here. Ooh, 6. And they have an attack command. Oh no, not for fire. No, not for fire. But the 6 is a 1-step loss. So that actually kills them. Covenanters are getting pounded. So that was Musketeers fired +1 though for range 1, but 4 is not enough. No effects. 6 is a 1, which kills 1 step, which killed the last step of that cavalry unit. Hackett is left in the hex by himself. Over here, this infantry, oh, I guess it's just that infantry. Yep, this infantry here, -1 for firing up the slope, so they need a 6. They get a 5, which would normally be a morale check, but it's -1 firing uphill, so it's nothing. Now we go to offensive fire, which is the Covenanters. Out of command units. Trying to remember, can they fire? Huh. It doesn't say that they can't. Huh. Interesting. They're out of command. Oh, never mind. They've already fired their weapons once anyways, but I wonder about the answer to that question. Can out of command units fire normally? No fire. So he has fire and they have fire. Yeah, so we basically have 3 infantry on there. There's no modifier, but it is 5 for morale check. Ooh, 6 is a... I don't think it matters, the order here. So 6... Okay, so 6 is a loss plus morale check. So the rest of it doesn't matter. This is another morale check, but that it doesn't matter that there's not another morale check. And then, again, it doesn't... No. You want to keep rolling because the extra morale check doesn't count. But if I had rolled another 6, that would count as 2-step losses. But what we wind up with that, basically, which is 1-step loss. Okay, and a morale check. So the Gordon's cavalry takes 1-step loss. They have a very good, well, not a very good, they have a good morale of 8, -1 for being, ooh, never mind, they fail. 11, -1 for being stacked with Gordon is 10, which is more than their current morale. So they are routed. I don't know about the routing putting the route. I mean, I guess I put the route marker on the leader, but the leaders really aren't routed. Units route, but I'll just do that. So Gordon and the Royalists are still doing fine. So again, they can move back 1, 2, or 3. So yeah, but I guess they'll cover themselves. They'll go 1, 2, like that. That is too bad. That was offensive fire. Now we go to melee for the Covenanters. I assume they cannot. Well, here I need to know. No, out of command units cannot initiate melee. That still leaves the question, can they fire? The reason why you have to ask these questions is that the way these rules are written, they're incredibly terse, and so you have to look for what is specifically prohibited. If it's not specifically prohibited, I've learned that the implication is it is allowed. So anyways, oh, there is no more melee. They cannot melee out to their flank. That's it. All right. Rally phase. It's the second player or Covenanters rally phase. So first, this is very significant. Who they can rally. This is going to be very significant. So here, they are stacked with a leader. So I guess I do subtract 1. The morale is 7. So they rally. So that is not going to count now. We'll still see how we do. There's still a killed leader there. They can't rally because they're not in the command span of their leader or the overall leader. Okay, I think that's it. So now the Royalists get to roll? They need 9 losses on the Covenanters. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for the leader. So that is, and boy, so much comes down to a roll. Oh my, look at that. Oh, I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that. I just want to make sure I did this right? So this is the Covenanter rally phase, which means the Royalists are going to roll, which means the Royalists are going to total up the Covenanter losses. Yeah. Which again was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, there's actually another one. I need to look for those reduced units. There's another one, so actually up to 11, which doesn't change the row. It's a high roll of 11 anyways. Actually 11 would win in every case. Game over. Royalists won, which by the way makes sense. The Covenanters were taking a pounding. Their only real setback was over there finally, and that was after Gordon made great progress. Very good stuff. Make sure I didn't miss another. No, I guess I didn't miss another one. So it was 11 points, which again, I need a roll of 9, 10, 11, 12. And the Royalist side rolls an 11. So that ended in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that was early, because this is obviously a high roll. This should have gone on, let's see, 11. No, they would have had to. So let's say that the Royalist in 2 more turns. So this is turn 7 of 10, which again is still early. But I like that variability. But let's say 2 more turns, and then we're in turn, let's say it's the end of 2 turns from now, which is the end of the 9th turn, which, I mean, you're 1 turn away from stopping and determining victory anyways, but, oh, I'm sorry, it's a draw if neither side rolls on their table and gets a victory, and you reach the end of the battle, it's actually a draw, so never mind. Alright, so if in 2 turns from now, the Royalists were able to destroy, let's say, two Covenanter infantry, let's say they're worth 5 points, then we would go up to what, 16? Right, 16. And then 16, 17, 18 losses is a 7 to 12 roll. And I'm just saying, if you roll an average 7 at the end of the 9th turn, if you roll an average 7 at the end of the 9th turn, you'd win anyways. So in a sense, this was on average 2 turns earlier than normal, which again is a huge amount of variability here, but I like this. I know I haven't talked about it. Maybe another time I'll talk about why I like this. There's more than one reason why I like this victory. I guess it is a mechanic, this victory mechanic. I still cannot think of any other game. No other game easily comes to mind that shares this mechanic, but I like it. But that's how you do it. I mean, that's, again, it was the Covenanters rally phase, which has 2 steps. First, the Covenanters roll to rally, and they did rally. They rallied the 1 unit that they could rally, actually. And the second step of that phase is the other player rolls on their victory table if they have caused enough losses. And so, like we determined, they've caused 11 points of losses. And so they roll. And 9, 10, 11, or 12, game ends with a Royalist victory.